Okay, welcome to another battle report, and it's the first one set in the Wars of the Roses for about a year. So we're going to have a little play around, and it's a scenario that I've designed semi-historical, so we'll see how that turns out. And for the first time, I'm being joined by Ben. Hello, Ben.
Hey, guys.
So Ben is going to be taking on the role of the hated, horrible Lancastrians.
That's not fair.
And I'm going to be playing the honourable... It's not really honourable. There's no one honourable here. I'm going to be the Yorkists as normal. Now, the game we're playing, this is titled Retreat from St Albans. So what I'm going to do first of all is just explain a little bit of the history of what's going on here. Then I'll talk about the scenario. Then we'll deploy, and then we'll just get stuck in. But we're looking forward to a very brutal game. We have a lovely village over here to fight over, and then lots of open land for light cavalry to roam around on. Right, so it is the 17th of February, 1461, and it's late in the day. At the start of the day, Lancastrian forces fell on the town of St Albans, basically attacking the Earl of Warwick. So this game takes place in the closing hours of the Second Battle of St Albans. At the start of the day, St Albans, which is located past the chair and the curtain over that way, they flooded into the town, beat the Yorkist garrison that was in the town, and then attacked Lord Montague, who was positioned just outside, and then the forces of the Earl of Warwick. The Lancastrians, under the Duke of Somerset and Margaret of Anjou, along with her allies and some Scottish allies as well, basically gave a complete drubbing to the Yorkists and freed Henry VI, who was in the custody of the Earl of Warwick. Now, the Earl of Warwick, his brother has been, Lord Montague, he's been captured. A couple of knights who were looking after Henry, they've been captured and ultimately will be executed on the decision of the 7-year-old Prince of Wales, because that decision should totally be given to a 7-year-old. And what happened? This is the village of Sandridge. Now, this is located just to the northeast of St Albans. Warwick's positions were located here. He thought the attack was going to come down this road and into St Albans from the north. What happened was the Lancastrians, they basically went round the side. they went through Dunstable, which is another game I want to do another time, because they had a local butcher organise a defence, and it was the Scots versus a local butcher and a couple of knights of Warwick. So I think that would be quite a fun game. Anyway, that didn't work. So Warwick had to turn his forces and to basically try and fend off the Lancastrians, and it didn't work. So what is happening here? We are in the closing stages of the battle. Warwick has already retreated. Historically, he got off the battlefield and the Yorkist army dispersed as night fell. And that's what we're going to be doing. So, as I say, the scenario is called Retreat from St Albans. Here is the village of Sandridge. Over here, this open ground is Norman's Land Common, which still exists. Obviously not as big as it used to be, but Norman's Land Common is there, and that is where the Yorkists made their retreat and their fight. It wasn't really a final stand. They weren't sort of, murdered to the last man. They actually got away with quite a lot of their forces, and those forces eventually joined with Edward and would form part of the large army he then takes north to fight at Towton. This game has got a very simple objective for the Yorkists, and they are trying to essentially do a tactical retreat off the board with supplies and wounded from the battle. This area there's men running. There's people who are very upset about the fact that the battle has been lost, and they're trying to get off the board. Now, we're going to be fighting with 2 divisions each. My division is going to start in the village, basically up to this area here, and I'll explain about deployment in a second. The Lancastrians are going to be moving on with 1 division here, and another division will turn up later in the game, and then I will have a division as another Yorkist commander is sent to just help get troops away from the board. Now, so this scenario, how's it going to work? Well, we are playing a random number of turns, which is going to be interesting. Now, those of you who may have seen the Acton Panzer videos that I've done, there is a really neat mechanic in that game of a timer, and I can't believe I haven't ever really used it before or even thought of doing one before. And that is at the end of each of our turns, every turn we're going to roll 2 dice or 3 dice, and we're going to count down a clock. As that clock hits certain times, for example 40 minutes, then reinforcements become available. When the timer reaches 0, that's the end of the game. Night has fallen and the Yorkists have slipped away. How big a victory or defeat it is will depend on how many units I've lost and whether the supplies and the wounded are off the board. The timer is going to start at 60 minutes, and at the end of each turn, each player can decide whether to roll 3 or 2 dice, and then that number is then taken off of the timer and then gives us our new setting. So it's going to be interesting, because are the Yorkists going to want to roll 3 dice and try and speed things up, but the Lancastrians might want to slow things down so they can, massacre more of them as they're getting away. However, Lancastrian reinforcements only come if the timer hits a certain amount. So it's going to be interesting. It also means you can't be that gamey, knowing that the game is going to end. And with my dice rolling, I can see some 111s turning up here. So
definitely need to channel a bit of Miller's dice roll there.
I think you do. I think you do on that, absolutely. The way the scenario is going to work. Here's the village of Sandridge. It's been split into zones. If you watched my battle reports before, for Hail Caesar, Pike and Shot and Black Powder, you know that when we fight in built-up areas, it's easier for me and it works to divide it into zones. So this is a zone. This area here is one, that bit of road. So each of these can hold 1 unit and only 1 unit. When they're in a zone, they count as defending the building. They're defending from the walls and all of that kind of stuff. And they will fight to whichever area they are defending with their full dice, as if that's the side of the unit. We're not doing any of this, one attack out this way, 1 attack out that way. It's much wider than that. The road in front of the buildings counts as part of that, counts as its own zone. So this area here is a zone in the road. That area there, we can see the barrels. That's another one. Then you've got the crossroads and so on. The Yorkists can deploy in basically any of these zones here and within 6 inches of the back of the village. The Lancastrians will be moving on, and they can move on in through any of these zones over here. And then later on, when their reinforcements turn up, which is going to be at 40 minutes, they will come on from over the hill over there. And then when my reinforcements come on, they will enter from a 12-inch zone down here. The carts are integral to the plot of this scenario, and basically the coach is going to be worth 1 victory point if it's still on the board at the end of the game to the Yorkists, and the wounded cart is going to be worth 1 victory point to the Yorkists if it's still on the board at the end of the game. However, if these move off the board, and they can go off the board in any direction they want, however they will be affected by the terrain. The wounded cart is worth 2 victory points to me, and the coach is worth 3 victory points. If the Lancastrians capture or destroy them, then the coach is worth 3 victory points to the Lancastrians, and the cart is worth 2 victory points. One of these is destroyed if at the start of a Lancastrian turn, there is a unit in contact with it and no friendly unit within 6 inches. Then it will automatically count as destroyed. On top of that, we're still going to be doing our standard 2 victory points for a destroyed unit and 1 victory point for a shaken unit. Now, if we finish the game within 3 victory points of each other, if there's only a difference of 3, we will say it is a bloody draw. Anything other is a victory or a defeat, and for the Yorkists, it's very much going to be a Pyrrhic victory. It's not going to be a good victory. It's just going to be a case of less people died. So what we're going to do, we're going to roll through our forces, our commanders. We'll get deployed. Well, it's going to be me deploying first. Ben is going to be moving on and having turn 1. So I'll get deployed. We'll roll through who we've got and what their abilities are, and then we'll get cracking. Okay, so here is the Yorkist initial deployment in Sandridge. I'm just going to roll through the commanders. So, leading my army is William Fitz-Allen. He is the Earl of Arundel. He has a strategy rating of 8, and his ability, very simply, is that he can designate one of the units in his division as elite. So, of course, they get to try and recover from disorder. He also only has a combat rating bonus of +2. Now, importantly, this is one of the few battles he actually turned up to in the Wars of the Roses. He didn't actually take part in very many. He was on the Lancastrian side at Balor Heath, and then he switched 1 year later to the Yorkist for this one. And then he kind of just sort of dips in and out. Sort of as the wars continue. My other commander is Henry Boucher. He is the Earl of Essex, the first Earl of Essex. He has a strategy rating of 8 and a combat bonus of +2. His ability is Old Soldier. And that's basically, he saw a lot of action in France and throughout the Wars of the Roses. And he was reliable, and he was also a uncle through marriage to Edward. So his ability is one of his units can be designated as steady, which allows them, basically it's a little bit harder to get them to take break tests. Ben, who's your commander?
So my commander is Henry Holland, the Duke of Exeter. He is incredibly fearful. Or no, he's feared, sorry.
Well, yeah. I mean, he didn't... Yeah, they feared him so much they pushed him off a boat.
So luckily there is no rivers or no boats. You lose your charge bonus if you go up against the unit with him in it. And I blunder on a level or 12.
That's it. His men are so afraid of him that there's a chance they'll mess up a little bit. He also, I think he's actually got a combat bonus of +3.
He does as well. So
yeah.
If he's at least getting into combat, it'll be good. But normally when I play him, I end up going all the way to the right or to the left, so hopefully that doesn't happen, so I just go forwards.
That's what you need. And then on your second wave, who's commanding?
So I've got Richard Wells coming in, and he has a combat rating of +4, strategy rating of 8.
+2.
Okay.
+4. Is that the only one who speaks Edward?
Okay, right, so yeah, okay, that's good. And he'll be coming on here with his cavalry, and he just makes 1 unit elite, which will probably be my mounted men-at-arms.
Awesome. Okay, well, what's quite cool, as I say, this is semi-historical, so this action, there was fighting. Whether or not there was this kind of thing is debatable. However, all of the lords and that we're using here did take part in the Second Battle of St Albans. So as this part of the action is happening, Queen Margaret and the Duke of Somerset, they're all they're looking after the king. Exeter has been sent to do what Exeter does best and basically be nasty.
That's the hope.
That's the hope. So I'll just show you my forces under Arundel. So here is Arundel. This is my my new command base that I've just made up with a couple of Ragged Staff miniatures on there. And so there's the Earl of Arundel. Under his command, he has a unit of Bill and Bow here in the colours of Montagu, who's been captured. Up here, he has 2 units. I should have actually said this earlier. When we said that the zones contain 1 unit, they can contain 1 standard unit or 2 small units. They can't contain large units because it's quite a small village. So he has 2 small units of crossbowmen. He has a standard unit of men-at-arms under Geoffrey Gate. He has a standard unit of Bill and Bow under James Harrington, and he has a standard unit of Bill and Bow here of men in his own livery, who I've just finished painting up. So I'm looking forward to getting these going. So the unit I can designate as elite, I'm going to make it Geoffrey Gate in the middle there. He's going to be elite.
You would have seen that coming, eh?
I know. I do. I have a soft spot for him, even though, from what I understand, he is a horrible bastard. So he's going to be up against Exeter, so it's going to be fine. One thing for this scenario, because the Yorkists are basically in retreat and they've just suffered, you know, a complete sort of surprise and defeat. At the start of the game, we're going to roll. On a roll of 6 for any of my deployed units, they start the game as wavering. Now, the wavering rule means that the first time they take a casualty, they must take a break test. And I think that kind of offsets a bit what we're doing here, so you know that just represents the panic that's happened. My reinforcements won't be affected by that, but these guys will be. So we'll get into the game, we'll roll up, and then we'll see if any of them are affected. But I think that's it. So I think we're ready to get cracking.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. So Ben has the first turn. So here we are, the retreat from St Albans, Lancastrian, turn 1. Okay, so an interesting first set of orders from the Lancastrians. Some stuff has happened and then not a lot of stuff happened. Ben, why don't you roll through?
Yeah, sure. So Exeter rolled up with his men-at-arms.
There he is.
They failed. He had to do a command reroll. Then the Scottish Pike blundered their way on.
Yep.
Just getting over the first hedgerow.
There
And
we
then
are.
I failed. So I've only got 2 units and Exeter currently on the board.
But they did charge.
They did charge.
They did
yep.
charge. So
But-
you've got a whole unit of men at arms that have come charging down the main road here into Sandridge into the Yorkist defenders under Jeffrey Gate. So we've got 2 units of men at arms that are going to be going at it in the middle of town, and you've joined Exeter into that combat already. So you're definitely going bold. You're a lot more aggressive than people I'm normally used to playing. So you could lose him very early in the
See,
battle.
I'm channeling my inner Tony of be aggressive.
Be
and
aggressive.
chance at me. So
There we are.
as long as you don't shoot my Scottish pike off the board, I think we'll be okay.
That's it. Yeah. Well, we should probably actually say to people as well. The Scottish pike over there, the Scottish allies, while they are in these zones, they are not operating as a pike block. So any of those, the bonuses in the rulebook associated with the pike blocks and things that you have in Hail Caesar, they do not count while they are operating here. They're just guys with big spears at the moment.
Turns out, yeah, it's not a great thing to go city fighting with a bunch of really large spears. However, they're going to try and do it. So.
I meant to say as well, just of course we are using Hail Caesar, we're using version 2, but we are using the statistics from the amendments that I made, which are available at the link down below, along with the commanders and some draft commanders, which will be in the new updated version. So Arundel and Wells are in the updated version. Everyone else is down below. We are using the other rules from the rulebook as written. So longbows have a range of 20. We've obviously got the household elements and a couple of other things. Obviously, there are no cannons on the board at the moment, but we would be using the rules from the rulebook with the addition that they can, of course, blow up. So there we are. Right. You have no shooting. So it's just into melee. So we both have a melee value of a clash of 7. So we both get 7 dice. You get an additional 3 for Exeter. You charged, so you're hitting on 3s. You have tough fighters, so you're re-rolling 1. And as Ben has just pointed out, forgot to say, Ben rolled to see if any of my men were wavering. And not a single one of them are. They've seen it's Exeter and suddenly they're not worried. Oh yeah, so we should say on the dice that Ben is using, if you see these turn up, this symbol on these dice is a 1 and the 6 is over there. So don't get excited if you see the rows actually turn up. Okay, so you have 10 dice hitting on 3s. You get to re-roll 1 for Tough Fighter. That was a hit. So how many hits have you got?
3, 4, 5. Not great. 50%.
6. You got 3 as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so 6. Okay, so you got 6 hits. I have 7 attacks coming back, re-rolling 1 for Tough Fighter. That's not great either. So I'm hitting on 4s. So I got 4. So I need 6 saves of 4. Oh, I'm not stubborn, I don't think. I can't remember my own things. Am I stubborn? I am stubborn. I've forgotten my my own amendment. So I've saved 4 so far. 5 saves. So 1 casualty for Jeffrey Gate. You're saving 4, re-rolling 1.
So 1 save, wasn't it?
So you got 1 save. Okay, but we have got to roll if your commander's been wounded. So I roll 2d6. We add his combat value of 3. If it's over 12, something has happened to him.
This could be a really short game.
That's a 9, 10, 11, 12. Something has happened quite early to Exeter. Right, let's see what's happened to him. He might have just got a wound.
Or he's going to die.
4 is, he's wounded, I believe. 2 seconds.
Okay, so there we are after the first round. No, that's not Warwick, that's Exeter, has been wounded. He's taken a light wound in our little adaptation that reduces his combat effectiveness by 1. You took 3 casualties, I took 1. That means you've lost to combat by 2. So you're rolling 2d6 minus 2 for your break test.
That is a 7, so they stand their ground and fight on.
Well, not the glorious first turn I was expecting.
No, so that's the end of turn 1, but it's all rough and tumble. So now we're going to go into Yorkist turn 1. I'm going to get those wagons moving, and basically decide whether I'm going to stand there and shoot at Ben, or maybe hit his unit in the side while nobody's supporting it. Let's find out. Okay, so yeah, not actually really any movement from me. I tried to move these guys around to start skirting around Sandridge, and it didn't work. So the only movement was from the wagon. So the cart here with the wounded on it, that's moved out of Sandridge. This sort of coach here moved from this zone to this zone here as it starts to kind of roll away as those Lancastrians come flooding down the street. So we're into my shooting phase. These guys can't shoot at anyone because that zone essentially blocks line of sight to that zone. So the only people who can shoot are Arundel's Bill and Bow here are going to fire straight at the Scots. Now remember, even though the unit is kind of over there, they occupy that entire zone, so we're only measuring to that point. So normally I'd be hitting on 4s, however I'm hitting on 5s because while he's in there he does not present a clear target. So I've got 3 dice hitting on 5s, re-rolling 1 for marksman. And we've forgotten to do, well I forgot, as I've been Ben's reminding me, the main thing of this scenario. So Ben, you're going to be rolling for a timer. Are you going to use 2 dice or 3 dice?
I'm going to use 2 dice.
Okay.
I don't want the time to run out.
So roll 2 dice and we take this off 60. So we are down now to 52 minutes left for the battle. Remember, Ben's reinforcements arrive at the 40-minute mark and mine arrive at the 30-minute mark. Back to these guys, let's do the shots. Okay, so I'm looking for 5s, re-rolling 1. That's 2 hits. That's 2 hits, and you're going to be taking a break test. So you need 2 saves of... What's the saves on the mercenary... guys, is it 5?
Yeah, 5.
So 5s. So it is 5s, but you get +1 for being in that zone. So yeah, you get 1 save and 1 casualty. Okay, Ben, so you need to take a break test because of the 6. So just go for it. 2d6 as high as you can get. A 6. Infantry, hold your ground disordered or retreat in good order. So are you going to retreat off the board or are you just going to stay disordered in that?
Unsurprisingly, I'm going to stay disordered.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. So the Yorkists putting a little bit of pressure on the Lancastrians. Okay, that's the end of the shooting. They're over there disordered. Now on to the close combat. Now I won the last round of combat, so I'm going to be getting +1 to hit. I've got 7 dice then, hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1. Ben has got... is Exeter going to stay in that combat?
Yeah, Exeter stays. So I have 9 dice.
Yeah, you have 9 now because he's gone down by 1 for being wounded, and you're hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1. Okay, so I'm looking for 3s. I get to re-roll 1. That's really bad. That's 4 hits. For me, you get 9 dice looking for 4s.
That's a little bit better.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 as well. I need 4 saves of 4 for me. Re-rolling 1 for stubborn and 1 casualty. You need 4 saves of 4. Re-rolling 1 for stubborn. Oh, she gets re-rolled at 3. Oh, that's all of them. The only thing that's going to save me here is if Exeter falls casualty. So we roll 2d6 plus 2. That's a 9 plus 2 is 11. So he didn't fall casualty this time. Just. So I've actually taken casualty and I've lost to combat by 1. So I am rolling 2d6 minus 1 for my break test. How it swings. Okay, so that's 9, so 8, so it's just fight on. So this is just grinding on, but the initiative is now thrown back over to the Lancastrians. So that is the end of the combat. I'll add the casualties on and then we'll roll the timer. Okay, so time for the timer. We were on 52 minutes. I'm going to roll 3. Do I want to roll 3 dice? Do you know what? I probably don't actually, because I want to. This is the thing. I get more points if they get off the board.
Exactly, yeah.
So you don't want to add too much. So I'm just going to roll 2 dice, I think. So 52 minus 8 is 44.
Yeah.
There we go. See, I can do maths. There we go. Right, that is the end of Yorkist turn 2. Let's go over and see what Lancastrians are going to do. Right, it's all happening in the village. Ben, why don't you roll through what's going? Let's start with what was already here, which was these guys. They're just continuing, aren't they?
Yeah, so this combat's carrying on, but I've won it.
So you're at +1. It's a proper back and forth. Okay.
The Scottish pikemen are disordered.
Yeah,
so
they're
not
just
doing anything.
They're in the orchard over there eating some apples.
This Bill and Bow unit charged up.
Yeah, they came rocketing through. They just charged through these and managed to get a charge off. Took 2 casualties on the way in. No disorder though.
Exactly, and I've got the other unit here hanging out in the town. And then we charged here with the men-at-arms against your
Crossbowmen, which the crossbowmen probably stand the best chance of doing casualties, and they caused you to take a break test and save, but you got through it with no disorder. So we have three combats going on here. That is the entirety of Exeter's division on the board, and of course we're getting closer to reinforcements turning up, less close to mine turning up. So it really is all in here as the Yorkists pull out. So shooting, there's none because essentially the whole front line is in combat, because the only unit you've got that can shoot is this unit of Bill and Bow, and they can't shoot them because obviously that's blocking it. So it's just into combat. It's your turn. Which one do you want to resolve? Do you want to do the one we've been doing, or do you want to start with
go with the one in the middle, shall we?
The one in the middle, okay. Exeter still taking part?
Yes, he is.
So you're going to have 9 dice hitting on 3s. I'm going to have 7 dice hitting on 4s, and we're both re-rolling 1 for Tough Fighter. Okay, so you're looking for 3. That's all but 1. That's all of them. Okay, this is going to be bad. I'm hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. So you have 4 saves of 4 to make. Re-rolling 1 for stubborn.
So I saved 3.
Yep. So you got 1 casualty. And I need 9 saves of 4. Re-rolling 1 for stubborn. So 2. Re-rolling 1. I took 4 casualties. My unit is now shaken, so I've lost to combat by 3. First of all, we're going to see if Exeter has fallen again, because he adds to the casualties. So if this plus 2... No, it doesn't get over 12. I have lost to combat by 3. There we go. So I am rolling a break test, 2d6 minus 3. I am now shaken, so if the result comes up break, if shaken, I will be off. Okay, so 2d6 minus 3. That's a 4. I think that's bad. Hand-to-hand combat 4. Infantry, break if shaken, otherwise give ground together with support. So no, Geoffrey Gate, who has stood the test of time in many battles, has broken. So we'll get the casualties added, and there are some early points there for the Lancastrians.
First blood to Exeter.
There's a bit of a gap there now, and many dead Yorkists as Geoffrey Gate flees the field to be with his master Warwick. Ben's decided, controversially, not to follow up. Ben, what you thinking?
So I'm just going to hold there. I think, yeah, just stay there, see where you move, see how the combat goes over here.
I feel like you're toying with me.
Kinda, yeah, a bit cat and mouse here. That's how Exeter would do. Trying to pick up as many victims for the rack as possible. I think hold there, see how it goes, because otherwise you're going to have to bring your stuff around, depending on how this combat goes.
That's
I'm not
true.
too fussed over there, because I think my Scottish pikemen, if they ever get into combat, will eventually just rout you on that side. So
okay, and then of course fairly soon we'll have your reinforcements on the way. So which combat do you want to do next?
let's do this one, see how this goes.
Okay, so over here you charged. It's your men at arms. You're fighting with 7 dice, hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1. My crossbowmen are not great, so they are going to get 3 dice hitting on 4s. They have got their other unit there, which is going to offer a measly, I think it's single dice. So yeah, let's just get rolling. Okay, so you're hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1 for Tough Fighter.
It's not as good as I want it to be.
1, 2, 3, 4 hits. I actually have 5 attacks, 3 from the little unit at the front, and then the support from the other little unit. We're sort of how we played in the zones is obviously if there's a small unit, 2 small units, that's supported. But you know, so there we go. So I'm hitting on 4s. 4. So you have 4 saves of 4, re-rolling 1 for stubborn. Oh no. Oh, alright.
That's how the dice should roll.
What was mine? You got 4 hits as well, didn't you?
Yes.
So I have 4 saves of 5 plus 1 for being in the built-up area. You're attacking me and I'm defending, so I'm saving on 4s. 2. So I've taken 2 casualties. I've lost to combat by 2, so it's 2d6 minus 2 for the break test. That is a result of 5. And in hand-to-hand combat, that means give ground disorder together with support. So they are vacating that zone, which means you can move into it if you would like to.
I will follow up this
Right, okay, let's get the table sorted out. Okay, so here we go. You can see the Exeter's men have forced their way into that zone. Here are the Burgundian crossbowmen who've taken a couple of casualties. This unit couldn't retreat, says they've had to go further. I need to check for disorder, actually, to see if they become disordered going through that unit. So, no, and the unit they're going through, no as well. So that's good. So the question is, do I charge or do I shoot? I mean, that's men-at-arms in full armour defending a position. That's going to be quite hard to get you out of there. That's just one combat left to do, which is over here. Bill and Bow versus Bill and Bow. So we've both got 6 attacks. You're hitting on 3s, I'm hitting on 4s, and that is it. Okay, let's see. No rerolls.
No, so just 3.
3 for you. And I am hitting on 4s. And I need to start pushing back. That's not pushing back. That's 2. So you need 2 saves of 5. No stubborn or anything like that. That's 2 dead. I need 4 saves of 5. That's 4 dead. So I've lost the combat by 2. So I'm rolling 2d6 minus 2 for my break test. They're gone.
Not a great day, is it really?
Just like to point out that this is the brand new unit that I painted up and got based this morning. So as they've suffered that curse, the freshest unit on the table is off the board.
Not gonna lie, mine. I did say to you the other day that I was gonna feel a bit guilty about killing your newly painted stuff, but
yeah,
I actually feel quite good.
I bet you do. Right. Okay. So they're off the table. Are you going to push into that?
I am going to follow up. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we'll get the table sorted out, and then sum up the end of a very successful Lancastrian turn. Okay. So let's sum up a little bit here. On this side, really successful push here from Exeter's men-at-arms. Maybe overextended. We shall see, but they're in a very defensible position on the side of Sandridge there. The men-at-arms in the middle saw off Geoffrey Gate, leaving the way open to the wagons. And over here, the Bill and Bow, under the Duke of Exeter, saw off the Earl of Arundel's household troops. So they're facing off there against James Harrington. Scots are over there. I mean, essentially, you own Sandridge. I've just got one area in Sandridge at the moment. So I think it's maybe time to do a bit of more of a fighting retreat. So it's time to roll for the timer. We are on 44.
4 minutes.
So are you going to roll 2d6 or 3d6?
I'm going to roll 2.
Okay. I really hope you rolled really low.
4. Just on a 40.
So 40. Okay. So on your next turn, so on Lancastrian turn 3, the reinforcements will appear over there. So I mean, I know that, but there's not really a point of metagaming it. So we are a third of the way through the battle. So I think I've got to try and speed things up now to get my reinforcements in to help the beleaguered Earl of Arundel. Okay, so the Yorkists have made a bit of consolidation. So I've chose to, under initiative, do a disorderly retreat with these chaps. These guys are absolutely fine. The wagons have kept on rolling, and once the coach rolled out of town, this unit of Bill and Bow have moved in to block the Lancastrian advance. So it'll be interesting to see what Ben does, whether or not he engages with this unit, or if he moves out to shoot at this lot. Over here, my unit here with James Harrington, he charged this group of Bill and Bow and took a casualty on the way in, and also passed a break test because the result was a 6. Other than that, not a lot has happened. I've decided to leave the Earl of Arundel out of his units because I can't risk not having a commander, and also slightly gamey knowing that there's other people turning up. So what I'm really hoping is, because we are on 40 minutes, aren't we?
Yes,
I need to roll a 10
on the end of this turn to be able to get my reinforcements on. So I will be going for those 3 dice at the end. So let's go with it. So shooting from the Yorkists. We'll start with the crossbows and then work our way across. So the disordered unit of crossbows is going to fire at your men-at-arms. They're 4+ normally. They're -1 because you're not a clear target. They're -1 because you're men-at-arms at the front. And they're -1 because they're disordered. So I'm hitting on 6s. Now, as I've only got 2 dice, and I'm going to need 2 6s in order to make you take a break test. Okay, 6s. Oh,
we got 1.
1. So no, you don't need to take a break test, but you are taking a save of 3+.
Oh,
okay, you're fine. Oh no, it's a 5 because it's crossbows. They cap the save, so you do get to re-roll for stubborn. Ah.
Oh, I spoke too soon, mate.
I did. Right, well, we'll try that again, but this time I'm hitting on... They're not disordered, so it's 4s, -1 because you're men-at-arms to the front. That's 5 build up. Yeah, so still 6s.
Yep.
No. Okay. My what I wanted to happen is not happening. This unit here, Bill and Bo, because you're not a clear target, normally they'd have to shoot you because you're the nearest target, but you're not a clear target, so they don't. I'm going to shoot down the road. Now, they are going to be at -1 because we've said that whole area is built up. So they are going to be hitting you on 5s, re-rolling 1 for marksman. Come on. There is a break test coming. Oh, there we go. 2 hits. You need 2 saves of 4, re-rolling 1 for stubborn. Oh. 2 casualties, which is going to make you shaken, and now you're rolling a break test. We do that at the end of the phase. In fact, hang on, I think that's the end of my shooting anyway.
Yep.
So yeah, you're rolling a break test. So you're rolling a break test 2d6 straight. Oh, a 5. Hang on, a 5 on shooting. If you are shaken, hold your ground disordered or retreat in good order. So you're shaken now. Are you going to stay there disordered or are you going to retreat?
Stay there disordered.
Okay, so they're all disordered. We'll add the casualties and the shaken token. So that's good. I don't have to worry about them too much at the moment. Let's see what happens in hand-to-hand combat. Right, so that unit is now shaken. That's in the middle there. Over here, it's James Harrington's charge against the hated Exeter troops. So, I'm going to get 6 dice hitting on 3s. You're going to get 6 dice hitting on 4s. That's it. Come on. No re-rolls. 4 hits. You're hitting on 4s.
1 at the moment.
Oh, there's no re-roll.
Oh, of course there isn't.
So it's just 1. Okay, I like this. 1 save of 5. No, so 1 casualty for me, and you need 4 saves. You're defending, you need 4 saves of 4. No rerolls.
Not going well.
Oh, 3 casualties. Oh. You are now shaken as well. Right, let's have a little look. Okay, so there's my 2 casualties. Ben has taken 6 and is shaken. So you took 3, I took 1. You lost to combat by 2, so you are 2d6 minus 2. Minus 2 is a 1. They're off. Exeter's troops slightly overextended there. I mean, that does give me a little bit of a warm feeling. I was starting to feel a bit sad. James Harrington will move forward and occupy.
Really?
That. Oh, well, will I? Well, the thing is, from there I can attack you. Remember, they can come this way. If you move forward to here, I've got you on this side and on this side.
I do have the Scots.
Yeah, but they like their apples. They like their apples.
I would advance it if I were you, but that's just...
Oh, see now. Oh, I don't know what to do.
Be aggressive, mine.
You would have to get into 1-2 zones, and you would take closing fire. No, you've convinced me. I'm going to stay where I am. I'm going to stay where I am. You've convinced me. I'm going to just hold where I am and play the game. So there we go. There is the end of Yorkist 2. So I've managed to take a unit out. So points are racking up quite quick in this game. We know Ben's reinforcements are turning up. We are on 40 minutes gone. So for the timer, I'm going to roll 3d6. Night is coming quickly. 3d6. Can I get this over 10? 9! Oh no! But they will be. I know they will be turning up for my next turn, which is quite nice.
That's not what you want, though.
So we are down to 31 minutes. So basically halfway through the battle, and here we go. So Lancastrian turn 4. What's that coming over the hill? It's some light cavalry. Ben, what occurred?
Well, it wasn't a great turn, was it, Martin? They failed completely, so let's not talk about that.
Yep,
They're stuck there.
They are, and there's even some units that didn't make it on, but we'll save that for another day. So Lord Wells has shown up there with Lancastrian reinforcements, which are entirely mounted, which is going to be cool. That's going to be a first for the channel. We normally don't have that much cavalry in Wars of Roses games, but as this is technically a retreat and the Yorkists are sort of like trying to scurry off the board, it kind of makes sense that after the main battle of St Albans, or the second battle of St Albans rather, that the prickers and that are out just trying to chase them down. So that went, and then over here it wasn't great, was it?
No, so the Scots again failed to charge, getting their pike stuck in the trees.
Yep.
The bow and stuff, they just held back.
They held back.
They're shaken, so they're basically useless. And the only unit that did anything is these guys here who managed to charge. So hopefully they can wipe out your bow and bill.
Yeah, so they charge on initiative. So it's you that's fighting me, so you'll be hitting on freeze, but I'll be defending that zone. So it's shooting. First of all, your javelins and that are all out of range from them over there, and over here, the bill and bow can't see anyone to shoot because you've got over 2 zones away and it's all intervening. So I think we're straight into hand-to-hand combat, aren't we?
Pretty much.
So that's down here. Your men-at-arms are going to get 7 dice hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1. I'm going to get 6 dice hitting on 4s.
Okay, go for it. You
Not as
get
good
to
as
reroll
normal.
1.
Oh, no.
So five hits, a respectable 5.
Yeah.
I'm looking for 4s. Come on, I need big here. That's not big. Oh, that's 3. That's 50%. So 3 for me. So I need 4 saves of normally 5, but obviously I'm defending. So it's 4s. No rerolls though. I saved 2, so I took 2 casualties. You have got 3 saves of 4, rerolling 1 for stubborn. Ah, damn. So that's just 1. So I have lost to combat by 1. So it's 2d6 minus 1. Oh, a 5. That was so a 5.
Close.
I believe so. A 5 is give ground disordered. Okay, so my guys will be pulling out of the town because they can't enter area. So they're gonna come down here. What do you want to do, Ben? Do you want to move into that area?
I feel I made the mistake not following up with this unit. So this time I will follow up and chase your wagon out of town.
Okay, that's cool. Fortunately, the wagon, because you're going to be next to it. But there is friendlies within 6 who aren't disordered or shaken, so you won't be destroying it yet. But you are hot on my heels. Okay, we'll get the tables sorted out, and then it's time for the timer. Okay, so there we are. Look, these guys have pulled out of town, and over there, Exeter's men are trying to push through. So I own very little of Sandridge, and I think it might be time to tactically retreat. Ben, are you going to use 2 or 3 dice for the timer?
I'm going to use 2 dice, and hopefully roll as low as
so we're on 40. And we are down to 33.
Yes.
No, we weren't on 40. Were we on 40? No, we were on 30.
31, weren't we?
And we were on 31.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're on 31 minus 7. Oh, why did I pick to do something with maths? Why can't I do maths? 24. 24. So my stuff will be turning up now. Excellent. Right then, it is time for the Yorkists. So there we go. Things have changed a little bit. Here are the Yorkist reinforcements under the Earl of Essex, Henry Boucher. They've turned up just about the same time as all of that cavalry on the hill. Unfortunately, they also didn't really manage to do very much. So I haven't even managed to bring on the whole lot that he's bought there. But what we do have is we have some bill and bow under John Conyers. We have more bill and bow in the Earl of Essex's men. We have some men-at-arms for the Earl of Essex, and we have some men-at-arms under Henry Neville. Over here, the carts carried on rolling down the road. Because there was a unit within 6 inches, they could escape the clutches of the men of the Duke of Exeter there, so it'll be interesting to see what they do there. Over here, I've decided to just hold my ground, so there is no combat for the for the first time in this game. There is going to be quite a bit of shooting, though, so I'm going to start out. I basically just want to see this unit off, because then I feel like these guys are going to be safe. So this unit of crossbows are going to fire at your men-at-arms. So I'm going to be -1 because I'm firing at men-at-arms to their front, the heavy infantry to the front. And also, you're in a built-up area still. You are on the edge of that zone, so I'm going to be hitting on 6s. So looking for 6s. Oh, 1.
1.
So yeah, if you could, it's going to be a save of 5. Caps on 5.
Oh,
okay, you saved it, but you are going to be taking a break test at the end of a turn.
Yep.
Next up, this bill and bow unit are going to fire at your unit over there, and they're not going to be clear targets. So I'm going to be hitting on 5s. Re-rolling 1 for marksman. It's 2, 3. So 3 saves of 4 because you obviously count as being in colour. So 2 casualties. Halfway there in terms of on the way to Shaken. This bill and bow unit, they're going to fire at them as well. These guys are... I just realised. No, you don't have to take a break test over here because I needed 6s to hit. So I would have needed 2 6s for it. These guys here, though, are going to fire. They're disordered, everything. It's 6s. Get to reroll 1 for marksman. Oh, another 6. No, so you're not having to take a break test. You are just doing a save, though. Straight up. Yeah, that's you are safe. They are, aren't they? Yeah.
They've not taken a single casualty yet, and they've cleared out.
They've done more than that. Yeah, all the way around. That is it. That's it for my turn. It's really just about positioning. So I'm really interested to see what you do with your cavalry. So we are. What are we on? 24 minutes, was it?
Yes.
24. I'm going to just roll 2 because I actually want to get these off the board. And if I roll really high on 3 dice, it could be over in your next turn. So I'm just going to roll 2 dice. Okay, so 24 minus 7 is 17.
Yep.
There we go, 17 minutes left. Okay, so without that out the way, it's on into the next Lancastrian turn. Okay, so a very active Lancastrian orders phase. Ben, why don't you run through what happened? Because there's been some charging.
So my light cavalry finally managed to get a charge in here. This one failed. The heavy cavalry did come on.
Yeah.
Again, failed a charge, and they just sort of sat back, a bit scared.
But
I've got some Bill and Bow who finally come on the board.
That's cool. So Wells is here in his entirety. Going to be getting in. I mean, basically, I think what you want is to smash through these into here. If you see me off over there, then this could be the turn that the wagon's full. But in the town, things happened as well.
So we've got the Untouchables here at the top.
Oh yeah.
They've just sort of swept round all the way. Haven't taken a single casualty so far.
No, they got disordered on the way into the combat. They did get
sort of, but that's not too bad. Yeah. X for some reason is just hanging back here.
Well, he rallied, didn't he?
He did rally, but he's still hanging back here with his troops. And then the Scottish finally got into combat, and followed up by a small unit there.
So we've got some. Have we got any shooting? Your Bill and Bow up there can see and shoot them, but they won't be clear targets.
Well, I'm going to go for it.
So you're going to have 3 dice hitting on 5s, re-rolling 1. Oh, there we go. Well, it's a way to do your first battle report. No shooting, just. I just had to remember that those weren't 6s.
Yeah, I just... So one shot.
One shot. It's a save for 5. And it's saved.
They're not in range, are they? With their
javelins are only a 6-inch range, so no. So it's melee. So which one do you want to start on? How many melee? We've got 3 melees. We've got the light cavalry one. We've got your Untouchables here. And we've got the one in
start with the
village.
light cavalry, I guess.
Okay, right. So your light cavalry in the charge, I believe, get 5 dice on the clash, and I get a whopping 3 dice. My unit won't be supporting because it's not in the right place. So you've got 5 dice hitting on 3s.
There's no rerolls, is there?
There's no rerolls, so 3 hits. I'm hitting on 4s. No hits.
Oh,
I need 3 saves of 5. Oh, dearie me. Okay, so they've already taken two casualties, so they are definitely shaken. So I've lost the combat by 3, so it's 2d6 minus 3. So 2d6 minus 3. That's a 3 in close combat. Break if shaken, otherwise give ground together as well. They are shaken, so they go. You're going to get to do a sweeping advance. Are you going to sweep into the crossbowman, or are you going to sweep into the...
I think I want to clear your crossbowman.
Okay. Alright, so we'll just get this sorted out and then come straight back. Ben's decided to smash into the back of that unit. He's going to be hitting on 3s with 5 dice. I can only put up to half my dice to fight. So that's going to be 2 dice, because you round up in Hail Caesar. And because I'm fighting to a flank on -1, so I've got 3 dice hitting on 5s. Okay, you're looking for 3s, Ben?
Yep. Well, I'll do.
So that's 3 hits.
Yep.
I'm looking for 5s. Come on. No, I don't get all of those. That was a really good roll as well. 1. So you need 1 save of 6, I think it is, for
yeah,
for
it's
the
because
light
their
cavalry.
armour is not good. Nope.
So 1 casualty, and I need 3 saves of 5. 2 casualties, so I still lost the combat. I lost the combat by 1, so it's 2d6 minus 1. They're absolutely fine, and that will roll on into the next turn. Next up, Ben, are we doing this one?
Yeah, we'll go with that one.
Excellent. So you have 7 dice hitting on 4s because you took that disorder on the way in. You get to reroll 1 for Tough Fighter. I have 6 dice with no rerolls hitting on 4s.
Okay, I'm on extra. Not great.
4.
4.
4. Okay, and I got a whopping 4 as well. So you need 4 saves of 4, rerolling 1. So 2. So you took 2 casualties. I need 4 saves of 5, rerolling nothing.
Wow.
So I saved all 4. So I've won the combat by 2.
Okay.
So you're rolling 2d6 minus 2 for your break test. Could this be it? If they just, has their luck finally run out?
I mean, it's most likely, isn't it?
Oh. That's a 3. A 3 is, no, it's break if shaken. So they're not shaken. So otherwise it is give ground disordered. So there they go. Which way they go? Back into town.
Yeah,
well, basically, yeah. That's so we know they charged out. So essentially, they run back to the safety of the town.
There we go.
Oh, disordered. They're going to become undisordered at the end of a turn anyway, so it doesn't matter. With 2 casualties on them.
Yep.
Right, let's just get this table sorted out. Okay, so in this combat, it's the Scottish Pikeman. It's 6 dice hitting on 3s, and I have 6 dice hitting on 4s. That
3.
is 3. Yep, sorry, the rose always throws me every time. I'm looking for 4s. 1. So you need 1 save of... They've got a save of 5. Yep, save of 5.
And they do it.
I need 3 saves of 4 because it's me defending. Oh no! 3 dead. I've taken 2, so not shaken, but I am rolling a break test 2d6 minus 3. So this could be curtains.
Not gonna lie, I do need you to run.
2d6 minus 3 is a 3. 3 is a break if shaken. No, they're not shaken, but they break. So they're coming out this way. But the thing is, they can't go there, so they are going to be retreating further and then being disordered. So you can move in and take that.
I am going to take
You're going to do that, right? Let's get this all moved around. That's then the end of Lancastrian turn, and Ben will be rolling for the timer, and then we'll see where we are. Okay, so James Harrington's unit is sort of broken out of there. I now have no presence in Sandridge at all. I'm being pushed back. They didn't disorder that unit as they went through. We rolled, but they didn't. And as you can see, the Scots have taken that back garden there. So there we are. That is the end of the Lancastrian turn. What we've decided, obviously, things are a work in progress. Because Ben didn't use his command reroll, we decided he could essentially, because he didn't use it to roll 1 less dice on the timer. So we're on 17 minutes. And how many are you going to roll?
2, please.
2 dice, okay. Let's see what happens.
Keep that.
You're going to keep that, yeah?
Go down to 12.
Down to 12 minutes left with... so I could end it on my turn. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so some good things, some bad things. Down here, the Earl of Essex only managed to move 2 of his units before failing, and because he's not in range for command rerolls, he didn't achieve very much. But hopefully he's going to be able to screen the wagons, which are nearly off. That's if I don't end the turn, end the game now. At the end of a turn. So obviously when it comes to it, I'm probably going to roll less dice because I get more points if these get off the board. Over here, John Conyers' troops moved up and formed a line, so I'm going to get some shooting off of them. We'll forget about that. Over here, the Earl of Arundel ordered that unit and they charged into Exeter's men-at-arms as they were retreating, and Arundel has joined the unit for this combat. Over here, these guys are just going to do some shooting from the hill. And I believe that's actually what we're going to do now. So they are going to shoot at the Scottish pikes that are over there. I'm going to be hitting on 5s. 6s, because you don't present a clear target, and I'm disordered. Right, so here we go, 6s. So I will need 2 6s to force a break test. I've just got the dice. Reroll 1. No hits at all. The only other bit of shooting is these guys down here. So I think they're going to be, they're over 12 inches. So they are at extreme range. So they're at -1. So they're hitting on 5s. No! 1 reroll. No, what an abysmal roll.
Do you want to borrow some of these dice?
No, I hate those dice. Well, they seem to be working for you. Right, so hand-to-hand combat. I think no, we're not going to start with that one. We'll start with the fresh one.
Start with that one, why?
Because I don't want everything to disappear. So we'll start over there. So the Earl of Arundel is going to add 2 to this combat. So I get 8 dice hitting on 3s. You get 7 dice hitting on 4s, rerolling 1. Okay, looking for 3s. No rerolls. Oh dear.
Oh, that's glorious.
That's 4 hits. You're looking for 4s, rerolling 1. So you got 3. I need 3 saves of 5. That's 2 saves. 1 casualty, and you need 4 saves of 4. No, 4 saves of 3 because you're in a built-up area, and you get to reroll 1.
Oh, I don't.
No, you don't. So I lost.
See what happens to your
I lost by 1. So you roll 2d6 and add 2. If it's over 12, something might have happened to him.
No, you're
God
okay.
for that. But I am still taking a break test. 2d6 -1. Oh, that's a 4.
-1.
The fight. So it's break if shaken or give ground together with supports. Fortunately, they are not shaken. That went really wrong. Okay, so they got in there. They got beaten, they're now back, and they're disordered. So let's just get the table sorted out. So there's the retreat. Now it's time to work out this combat here. Now, Ben won the last round of combat quite convincingly. So he has a sustained value of 3, so he gets 3 dice hitting on 3s. I'm still fighting to my rear with half my dice, so I get 2 dice hitting on 5s. Right, let's see what happens. Looking for 5s. No, you're looking for 3s.
Oh,
there you go. I need saves of 5. 1, 2 casualties, so I am 2d6 -2. They're staying where they are. They stay where they are, but they've taken 2 casualties. Okay, there we are. So that is the end of my turn. I don't really want to force the end of a turn because you're winning at the minute because you've killed more. I want to get these off. So I think we'll go with 2d6. What are we on time-wise? 12. Okay, so like before, because he hasn't used his command reroll, we can say he can reduce it to 1 dice. I want to reduce the chance of them getting off. So it was 12 minutes, Ben, yeah? That's what we're on. So 12 -1. So down to 11 minutes in the closing actions before the Yorkists are desperately looking at the sun to set. And then we'll see how far this guy gets off. So there we go. Right, Lancastrians. Okay, it's kind of the well, I wouldn't say the last charge of the Lancastrians, but I think it's going to be the first of the I think it's going to be the end of the Yorkists. Ben, where do you want to start? Because there is combat everywhere.
Let's go over this. I managed to convince you to throw your commander in. Essex has
like I said, Essex has joined this. So you did a follow me on. Well, first of all, Wells got all his other bits out of the way. Then he used follow me, which we think you can do. It doesn't say you can't, so we just said you can. A bit like when you do a rally order at the end. So he joined that unit, got the order off, and the heavy cavalry have smashed down into John Conyers. Wells is in that combat, so you're going to be fighting with quite a lot of dice, and Essex is in there as well. Over here, we said you came smashing into there, so those crossbowmen are dead.
Well, hoping to, yeah.
Exeter
has finally joined the Untouchables. Hopefully try and clear them out of the way, the annoyance they've been.
They've burst through out of Sandridge and into Montague's men. I've decided to throw Arundel in to support that because because basically if he beats me in here, he's just going to smash through into my wagons that I really want to get off in the next turn, assuming Ben doesn't manage to end the game. But then Ben might annihilate me here and then force the end of the game.
And finally,
over here, which was a bit ridiculous,
the Scots have finally managed to break through the town and have engaged you in combat, and they have been supported
with an ridiculously amazing roll from Exeter, and they came bouncing along because you didn't use your reroll. So on Exeter, you got out, and you'll be able to roll less dice at the end if you feel like it.
Unfortunately, they're still in the town, but I think they did their job at the start.
Well, they did, yeah. They did. They're
finally moved.
They're over there. They're having a pint. Right, shooting. Now, you have one unit that can shoot, which is up on the hill. You have a clear line of sight to Henry Neville, who is in column. Now, are you in 20 inches, which is the range of longbows? Nope, you are in.
I'm in.
Okay, do you want to have a go? Because if you hit me, my saves are going to be terrible.
I'm hoping to rout them before even
okay,
the sword,
so in that case, you're going to be hitting on 5s because you're at extreme range. Rerolling 1 for marksman.
Go for it.
Okay, so I'm going to be taking a break test. So 1 save is -2 to my save, so it's a save of 6. Okay, that's 1 dead. I just realised you'd have been 6s to hit, but that was a 6 anyway, because of course it's heavy infantry. But I am taking a break test at the end of the shooting phase, which is now anyway. Yep. So 2d6 straight. Oh god. A 5 on ranged attacks is hold your ground disordered or retreat in good order. I'm going to hold my ground disordered because I don't want to retreat off the board.
Sure?
Yeah, I'm very sure. So that's fine. Right, so now it's time for combat. Ben, which one do you want to do first?
Let's go with see how Wells does, shall we? See if I can collect stuff.
Right, okay, we've got some working out of dice to do. Okay, so here we go. These guys have a clash of 7, so plus 2 dice from Wells means you are attacking with 9 dice, hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1 for tough fighters. And I get 6 dice from John Conyers, 2 for having Essex in the unit. Right, I'm hitting on 4s. Right, you're looking for 3s. All but 2, so 7 hits. I'm looking for 4s. And I got 5. Okay, so you need 5 saves of 4, re-rolling 1 for stubborn. Oh, come on.
Thank you, Miller, for these dice.
1 casualty. And I need 7 saves of 5. No re-rolls. 4? I only took 3. You got to see if my commanders roll 2d6 plus 2. Oh, that's a 12. Roll a d6.
We're on the rack.
3. Okay, so this is a possible capture. So he suffered a wound, a bit like how Exeter did earlier. So his bonus is down to +1. But on a roll of 4 or more, you actually capture him into combat. He's dragged off. I don't believe it. Right, okay.
Off to the rack with him, Martin.
There we go. So Exeter. He's not Exeter. Essex has been captured, and also I have to take a break test of 2d6 minus 2 because I lost the combat by 2. That is down to a 6, which is give ground in good order. So they've just abandoned their commander. However, you can also just
do a sweeping advance into me.
Unsurprisingly, I am.
Unsurprisingly, that is what you're going to do. Right, let's get these moved and we'll fight the next round of combat. Here they are. They've smashed into them as they retreat. So I'm going to have 6 dice. I didn't get disordered, so I'm hitting on 4s. However, you get your charge bonus. As per sort of our sort of amendment to the rules, you don't get the bonus from the sort of like, you know, they're blown horses. So you are fighting with their sustained value, which is 4 plus the 2 attacks from Wells is 6. So you've got 6 attacks hitting on 3. I've got 6 attacks hitting on 4. That's all of them. Don't even need to re-roll. I'm hitting on 4s. That's 2.
Yeah.
So you need 2 saves of 4, re-rolling 1. No, you don't even need to re-roll.
Nope.
I need 6 saves of 5. Oh!
Well, that's not good. That's
So
not bad.
2, which means I am shaken. I mean, we're going to roll to see if your commander's taken. I forgot to roll for your commander last time. Never mind.
Roll it now. Try.
Okay, we'll say that was the last one. Nah, it's fine. So here we go. 2d6 minus 2. That is a 3, which unfortunately in combat is break if shaken, and my guys, having taken 2 more casualties to that 4, are now shaken. So they have broken. Right, so the next combat, I think I know which one it's going to be. Is it going to be this one by any chance?
I believe it's going to be that one.
Okay, so I get, right, so this is ridiculous. I'm going to get 2, I'm just going to put 2 dice into that one at the back. You're going to get 5 dice from this unit hitting on 3s for charging.
So I'll do them separately.
Yeah, you're going to get 3 dice hitting on 3s for this one because you won the last round of combat. So you essentially have 8 dice hitting on 3s, so you may as well roll them all together.
Yeah.
I get 2 dice because I can only fight with half my dice, and I could split them, but I'm just going to put them all into this unit. So I get 2 dice hitting on 5s. Okay, go for it. You're looking for 3s.
No rerolls though.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
If this doesn't kill him.
I'm looking for 5s. None.
Oh.
6 saves of 5, come on. 3, so I've lost the combat by 3. I am now shaken. 2d6 minus 3. That is 7. They're not going anywhere.
No.
They're not going anywhere, which is a bit ridiculous. But they are now shaken, and at their stamina limits. If you put 4 more casualties on them, that would obviously shatter them. Okay, so this is the biggie, isn't it? So you get 7 dice from your men-at-arms, adding Exeter's 2, because he's wounded. So that's 9 dice hitting on 3s. I have 6 dice, plus 2 is 8 dice hitting on 4s. Okay, cool, go for it. You get to re-roll 1.
So that's 2 misses.
2 misses, so 7 hits. Yep. I'm looking for 4s. 4. So you need 4 saves of 4, re-rolling 1 for stubborn. Oh, come on. I don't believe it. The other one flipped over, that's fine. Right, so... And I needed 7 saves. You didn't take any casualties.
Oh, no.
I need 7 saves of 5. That is 6. Let's see if your commander fell casualty. Nope. Let's see if my commander fell casualty. No. Okay. I'm 2d6 minus 6. So that is a 4, which I believe is break if shaken. They are shaken because their stamina is 6. My guy has to run and hide in the nearest unit in his division, which is them over there. So yeah, he will. I don't think he can do that actually. I think he might be dead. Okay, so as per the rules, this unit's been annihilated. So we're going to see, on a roll of 1 or 2, nothing happens to Arundel. On a roll of 3 or 4, he's wounded, so he would lose a pip. And a roll of 5 or 6, he's captured. So go on then, Ben. You roll. He's unharmed.
Yeah.
So what he's going to do, so normally move to join the closest unit. So we've house ruled this. He's going to join this unit here, but he will not add his bonus to them this round. So there's just more chances of him dying over there.
This is also true.
But we will get these moved up. Plus, your guys can make a move. They can't do a sweeping advance because they're infantry, but they can move forward. And I think they will get into touch with...
I believe they're going to touch the back of the wagon.
Oh, no. Okay, so as you can see, those that unit is moved up. And they are in touch with the wagon. These guys are disordered, so they won't be able to do anything next turn. So, I mean, they are still within 6 inches of friendly, so they are still going to move, but the pressure is on. Over here, your pikes. So they charge. So you're going to get 6 dice hitting on 3s, and then you're going to have 3 dice hitting on 4s in support. I'm going to have 6 dice hitting on 4s. Okay, so 6 on 3.
Pikes first.
That's all of them?
Yep.
Jesus.
Again.
And then 3 dice hitting on 4s.
Not as good.
That's better. So you got 6 hits. I'm hitting on 4s. And that is 4. So you need 4 saves of 5 for your pikes.
You could break them here.
That's 3 casualties.
Yep.
I need 6 saves of 5. 4. So I took 2 casualties. So I think you've lost the combat.
I have. Do you have to come on?
Yeah. Well, no, he's not joined. He's not given
yeah.
his dice into the combat. So I think it's fair enough. If the unit's wiped out, we would roll to see what happened with him. But he hasn't lent his dice to the combat. Therefore, he's not at a risk of being falling casualty. So how many casualties did you take?
3. Didn't I?
3. So you are 1 in excess. But because you are being supported, that excess casualty now goes over to your supports. So you're taking a break test. How many casualties did I suffer? I suffered 2 casualties. So you are 2d6 minus 1. So that's a result of 5, which is give ground disordered together with supports. Yes. So basically, these guys are going to go back to there, and then the Scots are going back into the farm. Right, there we go. That is the end of the Lancastrian turn. We'll kind of get things taken up here. How many minutes are we on? We're on 11, aren't we?
Yes.
On the timer. Ben, how many dice are you going to roll?
1 dice.
1 dice because you didn't use a command reroll. Go for it. 1. Okay.
10 minutes left.
10 minutes left. This really is going to be a nail biter. Right, we'll get cleaned up, and then we will get on with the Yorkist turn. Okay, so some good news. The first cart is away. I feel like an Empire Strikes Back when they go, the first transport is away. So no, the wounded are off the table. So that was 2 victory points secured for the Yorkists. I don't think they're going to get this one off, but we will see what happens. Men-at-Arms under Essex, or Essex's replacement, who definitely isn't Falkenberg because he wasn't at this battle, which is probably why Warwick lost, have just formed line and charged. These guys, they didn't get enough to move up in support, so they just formed a line. Over here, I opted to not... I meant to do a rally order. You cool if I do a rally order? So it's just 2d6, 8 or less. Yep.
Yeah, you do.
There we go. So he's rallied a casualty off of them. So they're just going to stay and do some shooting. They're going to ignore the Scots because they're not a clear target, so they don't have to shoot at them. They're shaken. And I'm going to shoot at your guys over there. You're over 12 inches from the centre of my unit, I believe. You always measure from the centre. Yes, you are. So I'm going to be at extreme range, so -1. So I'm hitting on 5s, re-rolling 1. All right, there we go. Re-rolling 1. No, they all miss. What about this one? Oh, it's a hit and a break test. So a save of 5. Saved it, but 2. It's the only shooting I've got this turn, so... Oh, 4.
They gonna run away?
Retreat disordered.
That's not what you want, is it?
No, I mean, they can't retreat. Oh, no, those guys aren't it. So they retreat into here. These guys they're just part of the Scots, aren't they? So they move into there. And to be honest, I think they're probably quite glad. They've had a hard day of killing Yorkists.
That's true.
I don't think there's any more shooting. My unit down here can't see anyone to shoot. So it's just combat. So I think we'll do this one first. I have a chance of winning. Is Wells still in that unit?
He is, sadly.
Okay, so you've got 4 attacks plus 2 for him. So 6 attacks. That's what you had last time, wasn't it? Yep. So 6 attacks. I have 7 attacks hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1. You have 6 attacks hitting on 4, re-rolling 1. Oh, they're going to try and get their Lord back. Get to reroll 1. That is 6 hits.
Okay, Ben, you're looking for 4s, rerolling 1.
Need a miracle here. No.
So 3. Okay, so I need 3 saves of 4, rerolling 1 for stubborn. It might be too little, too late. Save them all. You need 6 saves of 4, rerolling 1. Oh, not too bad. Okay, so you took 2 casualties. Let's see if your commander was one of them. Looking for a 12. 11. No. Damn it. So you're taking a break test 2d6 minus 2.
Oh, they're gone.
They are, but this is the annoying thing. They have to rule valiant.
Oh, yes.
So you get to re-roll the first failed break test because they're knights.
There.
That was 2d. It was minus 2, so it's a 4. Break if shaken. How many casualties did I do? I did 2. You're not shaken. No. So it is a retreat. These give ground. So they go back 9 inches and kind of mill around over there. That's so annoying. That's so annoying. I knew there was a chance. There was a chance. Right. We'll move those back and move on to the next combat. Okay, so that unit is over there, disordered. I've not followed up. I just want to kind of protect my little line here. Over here, this combat that won't end. You are going to get 3 dice for that unit, 3 dice for that unit. You won the last combat, so you're hitting on 3s. I am going to get 2 dice hitting on 6s now because I'm hitting to the flanks and I'm shaken, so I'm hitting on 6s. 2 dice again into that unit at the back. Hitting on, oh, I got 1. 1 hit. You have 6 dice. You might as well roll them all together, hitting on 3s. Oh dear.
That's not great.
There's no rerolls either.
Oh, no, of course there isn't.
So it was just 1.
Oh, dear.
Okay, so I need 1 save of 5. Nope, that's 1 did. You need 1 save of 5. No, it's a draw. But because I'm already shaken, I have to take a break test in drawn combat.
Just make this end.
No, they fight on. They keep going. They keep going. Right, that makes me happy. Brilliant. We'll just put a casualty on. There we go. That is it for the York Center. So how many minutes are we on, Ben? How many minutes have we got? Is it 9 or 10? I can't remember. Am I going to force the end of a turn or not? I am going to roll 2d6.
Really?
Yep. Nope. So 2. So 7. 3 minutes left. So even if you're dirty and try to use one dice, you should end it. So there we go. So we are into the final Lancastrian. Well, I say final. That was a bit presumptive, wasn't it? We're into what's likely to be the final Lancastrian turn. Okay, Ben, do you want to talk us through what happened? Should we start over here where things are a bit simpler?
So, they're shaken, so they can't do anything. They're disordered, they can't do anything. They attempted to charge, but just missed out.
So they're just kind of like finally made it through the town.
Yeah. We've still got this, obviously.
Yeah.
Going. The Untouchables made the charge.
Yep.
Hopefully they can rout them so I can just take the wagon.
Yep, that's true.
And
then...
They're blown, so they're not doing anything. They attempted to charge, but failed. And then Wells caught up.
Well, he said they failed. They still got 2 moves out of it.
Still, yeah. And then I thought, well, I might as well go with the last light cavalry.
I forgot about they were hanging out at the back there. And you got 3 orders off.
Yep, and Wells has attached himself to them.
So he smashed into them.
We can give your Minotaurs a bit of a bloody nose.
So there is some shooting, because you've got a bill and bow unit over here that can shoot at my bill and bow.
I'm hoping that I can rout you.
You might be able to. 2 casualties would probably be enough to do it. So you're going to be, you're disordered. Yep. You're over extreme, so you're hitting on 6s. So 3 dice hitting on 6s, re-rolling 1 for marksman.
For Lancaster?
No.
Well, it was worth it.
Is there anyone else? No, I don't think. No, they can't see anyone. No, they're they're done. So it's just combat. Which one do you want to start with? Just
I really want to see this off in the middle, to be honest.
Yep, you want to start with this. Okay, so again, you're getting 6 dice hitting on 3s. No, it was a draw last time.
It was a draw.
So you get 6 dice hitting on 4s. I have 2 dice hitting on 6s. Okay, so come on, you're looking for 4s. That is 4. I have 2 dice hitting on a 6. None. I need 4 saves of 5. If I fail this, the unit is shattered. I got 3. So I suffered 1 casualty. So on 2d6 minus 1, can they hold out?
4. I believe that is break if shaken at last. Yes, break if shaken. There you go. They only held them up for the majority of the game, so they are shaken. So your men can consolidate. Can't move, but you can kind of shift them around a little bit and change their facings and that, etc. Okay, so Ben's just kind of reorganised his ranks a little bit there. We're going to do this combat now, next to the wagon. This is going to be brutal. You're going to get 9 attacks, hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1. I get 1 because you've caught me in column. So I get 1 attack, which I do get to re-roll, hitting on a 4. Okay, you're looking for 3s. That's, I can't do maths. That's 7. Yeah. I get 1 attack, hitting on a 4, re-rolling. Oh, good. Yay! I got 1. So you have 1 save of 4.
Nope.
Oh, 1. Oh, he gets to re-roll it for stubborn.
Nope.
No, oh, it's a casualty, and it might be your commander. Shall I roll it now? Let's
go
just
for
see. 2d6. No,
No.
definitely not. Right, okay. You got 6. 7.
7, yeah.
Okay, I get 7 saves of. Is there? Let me see. Hang on. If I'm in melee, I am in a column, so it's -2. So I have 7 saves of 6.
I mean, that's not great.
Rerolling 1. That's 1. That's 6. Joe, I've got no commander in there, so it's 2d6 -6. A 4 is break if shaken. Obviously, the 6 casualties was enough to shake them, so they are very much shaken and destroyed. So that's another 2. I assume you're going to push up. You can't engage because you're
I'm
only.
going to hug that wagon with all its weight.
You're gonna. This is ours. This is. I mean, have I got anything in it? No, there's nothing in it. So it was a ploy. Warwick's actually in it.
Long live the Untouchables.
There we go. Unbelievable. There we go. I can't believe they really have been free. Is that the same unit that came down the outside?
So they've been from there,
Out, then back in, and then out again, and then out again. Okay. Who's next?
last combat.
Last combat over here.
Charge the light cavalry.
Yeah, not quite. Well, sort of the light brigade, I guess.
Yeah.
Just no cannons to shoot you as you come in. So you get 5 dice on the charge, hitting on 3s, plus 2 for wells is 7 dice hitting on 3s. I have 7 dice hitting on 4s coming back. All right, looking for 3s. No re-rolls though.
So that's 6.
6. Okay, I have 7 dice hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1.
It's not bad.
That's 5. So 5 hits. You need 5 saves of 6. They're only light cavalry. No re-rolls either. So that's
1 or 2.
4 casualties.
Yep.
So 4 casualties, and let's see if one of them was your commander. No. Oh, that would have been just nice if it had been. So you get 4 casualties. And how many saves did I need to make? Okay, so 6 saves of 4, re-rolling 1 for stubborn. And 2 casualties. So you've lost the combat by 2.
Yep.
So you are 2d6 -2 to your roll. You're absolutely fine. So that combat would drag on into another turn, but I don't think there is going to be one. Okay, that's it. We've got how many minutes left? Was it on the timer?
I want to say 7.
I think it's 3.
Yes, it is. Sorry.
It's 3, isn't it? Yeah. Are you gonna roll? How many dice are you gonna roll?
I'm gonna roll 3.
You're gonna roll 3.
I haven't used my command reroll.
You haven't. I really hope something does fly out the thing here.
Oh,
no. Oh look. So there we go. That is the end of the game. Now, of course, with the way the timer works, it does mean that someone might get the advantage. So Ben has actually had more turns than me, but that's the way the game's played out, and that's the sort of the fun of the variable turn length. What we're going to do, we're going to total up the victory points. We'll come back to you with the final score, although I've got a pretty good idea of what it is, and then we'll sum up. Okay, so there we go. Right, let's have a little sum up. So Ben destroyed 7 of my units, which is a cracking effort, which is, considering I think I had 12 at the start, it's more than half of my forces. So Ben scored 14 points. He didn't destroy either of my wagons, so he didn't get any points for those. So Ben finished on 14. I destroyed 1 unit for 2 points. I've shaken this unit here and this unit here for another 2, so that's 4. The wounded cart got off the board, so that's 5, 6, and this cart wasn't captured. Still on the board, wasn't captured, so it's worth 1, so I got 7. So the result is 14-7 to the Lancastrians. As night falls, the Yorkists just couldn't get everything they wanted away, so it is definitely a Lancastrian victory. How does that feel?
That feels great, doesn't it, mine? You know.
I mean, I'm glad it. Well, I'm a little bit disappointed with that unit over there that I freshly painted and based this morning. That disappeared. How did you find the game?
It was really, really good fun. I think highlight is that I took it.
You took Essex, yeah.
He's now going to go on the rack. But yeah, really, really good. Love the fighting through the town, and then with the open bit as well. Just really good mix of.
So this is semi-historical. There was a fight. There was essentially, I don't want to say a last stand, but there was an action at Norman's Land Common next to Sandridge as the Yorkists retreated and covered their retreat, and it did work because. In history, the Yorkists enough got away that when they got to London and they met up with Edward, they obviously went on to fight at Towton. But what I wanted to do with this scenario, and there's a couple of things after playing this I'm going to change a little bit, is I wanted an area that was built up and you were fighting through, and then an area that was quite open. Now, in the actual battle, there was probably gun emplacements that had been abandoned, and Warwick quite famously had caltrops and chains and pits and things. That would be quite cool to set up. So maybe over here you've actually got more broken ground to stop the charges. So potentially some obstacles on here. Using the zones is obviously something we've done before. Have you done much of that in Hail Caesar? Because you've played Hail Caesar before, haven't you?
Yeah, I have, but not done it with zones.
And how did you find that?
I really enjoy the zones. I think it just acts as it's just that bit different, isn't it? I think it makes it a lot easier to fight in the town.
And then, once you're outside that, you get that. And it's much easier if you're in there that you just assume everything in shooting-wise, you get a cover bonus. And if you're attacking, the defender gets a cover bonus. But obviously, you still get your charge bonus. It just breaks things down a little bit. So it would be cool one day to maybe have half the board as Zabri. I mean,
if it was more...
Yeah, it's been
larger town, but no, it's perfect for me.
Well, that's that bit. Now, of course, the main thing that was about is we were using a variable game length, and rather than just saying 7 turns rolling for an 8th, we used a countdown. Now, we played with 2 dice, roll 2 dice or 3 dice, and then halfway through we're like, well, maybe if you don't use your command reroll, you could reduce that by a dice or maybe add a dice, just to so the commanders are playing for time, or that that they spur their men on a little bit and time goes a bit quicker. I was quite pleased with the way the time mechanic worked. Obviously, I've kind of nicked it from another game. I think the ability to manipulate that time mechanic might be a bit more fun, or force your opponent to do it, because as we said, we did find out that of course you could I thought 60 would be quite high, but as you may have heard, as I was trying to add up, and its maths isn't my strong suit, so we did rip through it quite quick. But then towards the end of the game, it did become a case of, well, I don't want the game to end because I want the points. I get more points for getting these off the board. So in the end, I was rolling lower, trying to get these stuff off the board, and Ben started rolling more dice to try and end the game because he quite clearly massacred enough of the Yorkists that he would win the game. I mean, very much history has repeated itself, with the exception of Essex being captured, but he'd be ransomed back and fight at Towton a month later. I have got some plans for other scenarios based around the second Battle of St Albans, so I might be able to convince Ben to come back to fight some more. I'd very much like to do the fight at Dunstable involving the Butcher. But let me know what you guys think, because they're always open to some ideas. I was really, really pleased with the way it played. What I'll do as well, I'll write up the scenario and I'll make that available for anyone who's interested and can just tinker with it or do whatever they like. The army lists that we use are available down below, and I will get the new version out ASAP and let everybody know. In the meantime, thanks very much for Ben for coming in and joining in. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you again on the channel. And guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for the comments. Cheers also, of course, to the channel members for all the support and encouragement. And I hope you all have a great week. And I will see you all again soon in the next one.
Like and subscribe.
Bye-bye. That's right.